we recognise that the job market is very tough for young people at the moment. Teenagers entering their first job are going to struggle.
Hey guys, welcome to the UpNext podcast, where we are interviewing teen entrepreneurs that are making it big time in the startup world. We are asking the questions we know you want to hear. UpNext is an app made for teens where anyone can join or build a real-life startup. So today we have Jenk once again, who hasn't seen our past interviews. Stop this one, go to that one, and then come back. And we also have Gemma Robinson, Thread Media's community manager. For those of you who don't know, Thread Media is a social enterprise that is focused on media, publishing, consulting, and production, all aimed at Gen Z. We are here today to talk about the newest thing that Thread Media has going on, called the Changemaker Network. Knowing you, Jenk, I can't wait to hear more about it. So tell me what's been going on.
A changemaker is effectively someone who wants to have a positive difference in the world, basically the star person at Thread. It's basically a person who thinks overall about the ways that they can kind of contribute and impact to change overall in a positive way, no matter how big, no matter how small. That's what a changemaker is. So for us, it's actually, I say that, it's actually a bit more of a mindset, to be fair, more than anything. It's kind of that, it's like the desire, the drive, effectively, to change things in a positive way across all socially relevant topics. People like Greta Thunberg, Emma Gonzalez, Malala, all great examples of kind of change makers that we love to talk about. And they've really shown everyone that as a teenager, you really can make change. You can be a change maker. And once you believe, then you can mobilize action, and then that is what we're witnessing today as kind of social change on a grander scale.
That is great.
You also say usually that it's worth saying that lots of kind of young change makers start their kind of change maker journey on like an online activism, basically clicktivism, things like kind of reposting social change based stories on your Instagram or any social media, following like-minded accounts, things like that. But then that's when you start to slowly escalate, and then you can kind of attend protests, march, volunteer, kind of join change-focused organizations. And then at the top level is make kind of government policy change. But yeah.
Oh, it sounds amazing. I think that giving people, young people, the platform that they have so much going on, and it's just, they want to tell everyone, and it's bursting out of them any minute. And now they have a place to put all of their inspiration and ideas, and, just to pass it on and to show everyone, and to also find out that a bunch of other people agree with them and feel the same way. I think it's something that is very comforting, that a lot of young people need in their lives. So thank you for that. This sounds like it's going to be great. So which activities and opportunities would these network members have?
We offer kind of 4 formal routes to become a change maker with us. The first is the opportunity to become an ambassador for Thread. So through doing that, you help get the word out about what we're doing, and also help mobilize youth movements all around the world. Once you become an ambassador, there's another opportunity to become a champion, which is when we help mentor young people to take on more responsibility and form a leadership role among the ambassadors. So that's a great scheme that's open to people of all ages in Generation Z. We also offer internships with the Thread office. So this is kind of our direct way to help young people in the tough job market today get their first step into business, experience the workplace, and kind of drive them forward in their careers. There's loads of different things we offer with our internships. We've just had 11 people come through in the last month, and we really tailor the experience to whatever the young people are interested in. So that's a great way to get involved with us as well. We also have just started a Discord server called Social Exchange. That's a place for young people to come and hang out in a private space, talk to each other about social change issues, be very open, share articles and petitions with each other. And so we offer a role which is a Discord moderator, and they have a very important role in the social exchange server in initiating conversations between our partners and the young people, sharing articles and ideas, and ensuring that it stays a safe place for everyone. Then our last scheme, which is really exciting, is our remote writer program. This is to do with the journalism side of our business. And it's a great way for new voices in journalism to get published on our website, pitch their own ideas, have their own voice, and grow and develop with one-on-one mentorship with our team to become more experienced writers before entering a more formal workforce. And every single one of these roles comes with one-on-one mentorship with us, regular Zoom meetings, all different types of opportunities to grow and improve.
That all sounds really great. Jenk, I remember the last time we talked, you talked about bringing interns and also translating your website, which I see that both are already happening. So it's really exciting that I got to hear about it firsthand and that I'm actually hearing about the real thing now.
Big stuff, big moves.
Yeah, so you do not wait, which I love. So it really is a way for teens to get their foot in the door and to start making changes and start seeing what it's like to be in that, you know, big kind of working world that they maybe didn't know beforehand. So I really think that this is an opportunity that everyone should take advantage of. I mean, I wish I could sign up myself. So how many changemakers do you intend to recruit? Is there an actual limit?
Well, I think it's worth saying that we want to get as a whole company, aside from the Changemaker network, as a whole, kind of as Thread, we want to be able to reach as many Generation Zers as possible and kind of spread positive social change. That's the big goal. That's the vision. I mean, right now there's what, like 2.5 billion Generation Zers across the world. Almost 90% of which living in kind of like emerging and newly emerging and low-income countries. So we need to think about how we're going to be able to reach them all, given that there's actually not that many with kind of internet access and the high internet penetration levels. Basically, therefore, connecting with the changemakers globally, although together to do because of language barriers, it's quite hard to do, as I said, because of like language barriers and in certain cases, kind of connectivity issues. It is an absolute necessity to be able to reach them because, as I said, 90% of them, of 2.5 billion, is a very large number, and 10% of 2.5 billion is actually not, is a very small number compared. And if you can't access the other 90%, then you have quite a big issue in your hands. We want to recruit basically enough people to be able to build out a long-lasting, credible network of ambassadors and champions in each country and in each category. So that whether that requires kind of a few hundred people or over 1,000 people, then so be it, but that's kind of where we need to get to. So there's no, to answer your question more specifically, we don't want to put a limit to the number we don't want to exclude any parts of the world, and also we don't want to exclude anyone who wants to help make a difference. So for now, there is no number, but we know where we need to be no matter what the number is.
Well, that is great news to all those people who are listening. Go for it. Put yourself out there. The limits are endless. And the way you said before that there's a lot of Gen Zers in the world that unfortunately don't have a way to communicate as easily as others. So how would these ambassadors work with one another? How would they communicate? How would they collaborate in a technical sense?
We want to remove as many barriers as possible for people to make sure this really is a scheme that's open to everyone. That means obviously remote working. The first step in becoming a changemaker is going to our website and filling in a type form. And then we get in touch and organise the onboarding process and Zoom calls from there. then the main point of communication is a Slack channel where you can communicate with the team directly all the time, and also other change makers. Anyone who's having trouble accessing the internet, we want to make sure that we can help, and we really want everyone to contact us if any way we can help them join the scheme. We don't want there to be any barriers to anybody getting online and becoming part of the network.
Well, I think it's really comforting for those people that may have trouble, finding you or communicating. They know that you will do everything that you can pretty much to make sure that that bridge is covered and that they can be a part of it as much as anyone else. So what is the vision behind the Changemakers Network? How would you see it in, let's say, 5 years from now?
The vision is to build out the global community of like-minded young people that can network together and bring about local change in their local area, is the first thing. And then you kind of want to shine a light on their stories and successes with other communities so that all communities can see a path forward for change using real-time examples of other communities which they're not related to. For us at Thread, we'll be able to better understand the issues in order to help drive Generation Z movements globally through that. And we can only do that if we are in direct contact with the change makers on the ground and by bringing attention to them. So we can help focus resources from around the world, ideally. 5 years from now, I think 5 years from now, we hope it's kind of a well-oiled network that works well and works for the purpose that we set out for it to work for. And we want it to be obviously a network that helps people help each other have a positive impact on the causes that they feel passionately about. I think there's a lot of work to do to get there, but between everyone at Thread, especially Gemma, I'm sure we can make it there.
Well, I'm not worried at all. I mean, last time we talked, you had your goals, and we're currently talking about those goals that we talked about last time. So I'm guessing the next time we're going to talk, you're already going to be on to the next thing. So there have never been any worries on our end. I'm speaking for everyone because I know what I'm talking about. So are you looking for teens, like specifically teens, for the network? And if so, what is the reason behind this young activist targeting, regardless that, they're just smarter?
I think there's two reasons. The first is obviously Gen Z have been so engaged with social change movements around the world. And we want to give more of a voice to those people, those activists and those movements that traditional news outlets just don't provide, especially in the UK, but I know around the world as well. The big news outlets that people turn to are quite archaic. They don't always give voices to young people. And the young people now are trying to make waves in the world and change it for the better. So that's why we're focusing on young people as a company in general, but especially for the Changemaker Network, because of the way we want to help people in their personal development. We recognise that the job market is very tough for young people at the moment. Teenagers entering their first job are going to struggle, and those with the privilege to have certain opportunities are going to excel more than others. The Changemaker Network offers those additional opportunities to people that might not have an uncle in the publishing industry or a family friend. All we're interested in is your motivation, your passion for being an advocate, and everyone is welcome. And we want to give that step up to people that traditionally wouldn't have had it.
Well, I know, speaking as maybe not Gen Z, but if I would look a few years back and have this kind of opportunity, I would have been, maybe a bit worried at first. I don't have anything, to my name. I don't really think that I have much to offer, but the fact that everything is so welcoming and comforting and giving really the stage to young people, to any kind of young person, to anyone who wants to be a part of this, you can. We'll find room for you, and I think that's something that we need to see more in the world in general, and especially, you know, having the news and the media give young people that place, because they are the next thing. They are the change makers. So the name really speaks for itself. I love what you guys are doing, and I think that it is really promising, very original, and always Jenk knows I'm his biggest fan, so pretty much anything that goes on there.
Very kind of you to say. I mean, that's the idea. We want to be as welcoming as possible. Everyone at their heart can be a change maker, and we want to kind of embrace that aspect and help them thrive and make change effectively. And this is very kind of you to say. So yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I really think you guys are on the right path, and I think that this is going to go in a great direction, giving everyone a really positive theoretical stage, let's call it, to show themselves off and show off, you know, what they know, what they like, what they dislike. Jenk, if you had to pitch this idea to me, regardless of the questions, putting the questions aside, if you had to pitch this idea, let's say in like 60 seconds, how would you present it?
I present it as a way for like-minded people, like-minded change makers, to be able to take their change making kind of their characteristics and their change making personalities, and be able to combine them all to make change on a much greater scale than any of them individually could have in their individual areas. And I think that's the pitch, effectively. Taking lots of little change makers and scaling them up to one big change made on a grand scale.
Change makers, change made. I like that. So thank you guys so much for your time and everything that you guys are doing for your generation. If they didn't know until now, then they owe you a big thank you. And I can't wait to see how everything goes and what you do next.